What's going on, guys? I'm pumped. It's 5 days till I leave for Montana. Going on a backcountry, DIY, the whole shebang. The same thing that we usually do year after year. We've been doing it since 2018, I think. Anyway, went to Colorado the first couple of years, went to Montana the last time, didn't get to go last year, so I'm chomping at the bit to get out there. Along with that comes the yearly gear videos. So this video here is going to be kind of a comprehensive, everything that I'm packing. We're going for 15 days. Like I said, backcountry, carrying everything in. We're not using horses or anything like that, so we're going to be backpacking everything in. But this is going to be kind of a total gear list, everything that's going to be in my pack for 3, 4, or 5 days. I'll give you weights and everything that I'm going to have in here for 4 days. If after that time period we haven't gotten into the elk, we'll come out, go somewhere else. And if we are in elk and we got to come out, we'll make a quick bomb out, grab more food and go back in. But we're going to pack in at our initial spot with 4 days worth of food. So everything that I'm going to have in this video is going to be what I need no matter how many days I'm going, with the exception of that food. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to kind of breeze through everything, trying to keep it not quite as long. I shot this yesterday and it was just way too long. So this is going to be kind of a quick overview. If you want more specific, I am going to do individual videos talking about specific kits in my gear. Along with that, during this video, as I talk about certain things, I'm going to shoot up a image of a Excel file where I have all this stuff written down. So if you want to pause it and pause the video and go through there and write some of this stuff down, by all means do that. And hopefully that helps you. I'm going to try to add in weights for everything. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Let's talk about the gear that I'm going to have packed. So for this, it's really going to be dependent on weather, whatever the forecast is. If they're calling for rain, I am going to pack my rain gear. If there's a chance of snow or really cold temps, I'll pack rain gear. Starting off, these are the Sitka Dew Point rain pants, and then I've also got the Sitka Dew Point jacket. Not really worried about camo. I do like to try to have some camo up top, if at all possible, but I like the green pants. I like a solid color pant. That's all personal preference. I really don't think it matters in the grand scheme of things. Excuse me. But like I said, that may be very dependent on whether I pack that or not. Another thing you'll notice, these are my First Light Grizzly Mitt 2.0s. I absolutely love these gloves. They've got an inner wool liner that you can pop out, and then they've got the waterproof, windproof outer. Those are also going to be dependent on temperature. If it's going to be a lot of cold mornings, I will pack those. They're a little heavy, but they're not too bad. From there, this is a new piece here. And I forgot to tell you, if you're looking through my gear list, as I posted on the screen, anything in red is something that's new for me that I have not hunted with yet. So take that into mind when I'm talking about this stuff. I don't have an actual real world experience with some of this gear. And some of the gear that I have marked in red, I have deer hunted with, but if it's in red on this list, I have not elk hunted with it, so keep that in mind. All right, so these are the Outdoor Vitals down booties. This is the first time I've had any down booties. I actually just got these a couple days ago. They only weigh like 4 ounces, so they're equivalent essentially to another pair of socks. We'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, so Outdoor Vitals down booties. This is the Stone Glacier Grumman down jacket. That will always be in my pack. These booties will always be in my pack. And then this is the Black Ovis down glassing pants. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they're on their website. These are a more cost-effective model than the Stone Glacier, and they've got a lot of really good reviews on them. Those are also going to be another weather-dependent thing that's in my pack. If it's going to be down 20 or 30 degrees, I will pack these. If it's going to be in the 40s or above, I may not pack those. So that's pretty much it for packed gear. Some of this stuff will be packed at certain points, but it may be worn most of the time. So something that could be packed or could be worn, these are the First Light Kiln zip-off long johns. And then let me go ahead and talk about my boots so I can quit worrying about knocking them off. These are the crispy Brickstall Mountain GTXs. I've had these for a couple months now. I've been training in them. I've got a pair of cork sole insoles in here. I really like this combination. I like a 3-flex type of boot. It's not super stiff. I will also have my crispy Laponias in the truck as a backup pair just in case I need them or my feet don't like these boots when I get into the mountains. For a gaiter, I do like to wear a gaiter, especially when we're going through burns or loose dirt or anything like that in an area that could possibly get stuff down in my socks and in my boots. I try to keep my socks as clean as possible, and that's really between that and protecting my shins is the main reason why I wear a gaiter. If it's going to be super hot, I may pull those gaiters off because they are a warm gaiter. But if it's going to be a normal temperature that I've experienced during elk season, I'll probably have those gaiters on for the most part. So for what I'm going to wear, all the gear I'll wear, these are the these are the Stone Glacier, what are they? Stone Glacier, let me see if they're on here. I'm trying to remember what they're called. De Havilland Light Pant, that's what these are. I've been wearing these for 2 years, I think. I didn't have these when I went elk hunting. I think I got them when I got back. I really like these pants. They're a lightweight pant. They have a full zip up the side, not all the way to the ankle, but the whole side of your leg opens up. They breathe well. I like that the pockets are in the front on my thighs. I like that design, and I really like their knee pad system. So de Havilland light pant, I like a lightweight pant on the outside, and I like to layer over or under if I need to. So for my underwear, these are the Stone Glacier Chilkoot Merino boxers, and then for my base layer shirt is the Stone Glacier Chilkoot Merino shirt. On top of that, or by itself, will be the Sitka lightweight or Sitka Core lightweight hoodie. I really like a hoodie, especially when I'm wearing a binocular harness. It keeps the straps from rubbing my neck raw. So Sitka Core lightweight hoodie. The next layer on top would be the Sitka heavyweight hoodie. This is a really nice piece. I like the weight of it, and it keeps you very warm for no more than what it weighs. It's kind of like a fleecy material. From there, socks, I'll have a pair of Injinji toe socks. Really love those socks. I've got those in merino also. This is the synthetic version, and I actually like the synthetic version better. I prefer the way they feel on my feet. And then these are the Smart Wool hiker socks. I've got a couple pairs of these. I really like these socks. I'll only be packing in one pair of underwear, one pair of socks, and one pair of liner socks for the duration of like a 4 or 5 day stint when we're back in there. And then when we come back out to the truck, I may swap out with another pair, but I'm not actually packing any extras. And that's why I have these down booties. These down booties are super nice, and it'll be great to have in camp especially, or even on the glass and knob. I can take my boots off and stick my feet in there, let my feet kind of air out and breathe. Additional accessories are going to be my neck gaiter, just a thin neck gaiter. I've also got a pair of thin black Ovis, like a merino liner type glove, and then an Outdoor Research windproof beanie. And most important of all, I have my Lucky hunting hat. This is my, try not to get emotional. This is my grandpa's hat that he got from me when I first started having some hats made for Buffalo Creek Outdoors. Him and my grandma bought it from me, and my grandpa used to put his initials in, he put his initials in everything, so he had his initials in this hat, and each year I redo his initials because my sweat kind of wears it out, but I redo my initials, or his initials in there, and so far on my tallies, I've got 3 deer, 3 turkeys. I got a place for an elk. We're going to kill one this year. This hat is about to get another tally mark, and I'm pumped for it. But yeah, my Lucky hunting hat, that is the most important piece of clothing that I got over here. to me. Anyway, that's the clothing that I've got packed, that I'm going to pack, and what I'm going to wear, like I said, weather depending. So let me move this off the table, and I'll move the rest of my gear up here, and we'll go through everything else that I'm going to have packed for this trip. All right, guys, so after clothing, this is going to be everything else that I have in my pack for this trip. So let's start off over here. This is just a regular, I think it's a Z-Lite or something like that, little foam pad. I use that for glassing, use that in the tent, kneeling down, whatever it may be. Nothing special there. Bugle tube is going to be the Phelps. I believe it's the Unleashed bugle tube. I really like the way that thing sounds. It's heavy, but it's got a really good sound to it. Sleep system. I got a couple new pieces this year. This is going to be the Nemo Tensor, I believe. This is the full-length, rectangular shaped sleeping pad. I've always had an issue with the mummy-shaped sleeping pads as far as sliding off of them. And I sleep all over the place, on my side, on my back, on my stomach. I'm all over the place. So I'm going to try a full-length pad this year, a full-size pad. And this one, I can already tell you, it's a lot quieter than my Thermarest was. Not quite as much of an R value. I went from a Thermarest X-Therm. This is a 4.2 or 4.4, I believe. That one was a lot more than that. I think it was a 6 or a 7. Anyway, different pad, and I'm going to bring the little bag to blow it up with. It's very convenient after you've been hiking all day. You don't feel like blowing breaths in a mattress. So 4 or 5 breaths into this bag total, and I can get this thing pretty much pumped up quick. I also have a Tyvek ground sheet. Weighs next to nothing, and I like the way that ground sheet works as far as protecting my pad and keeping the dirt off my sleeping bag. So shelter wise, if you'll notice, I don't have a shelter up here, and that's because on this specific hunt we're going to be using Wayne's Seek Outside Cimarron. I'll pack part of it, maybe the stakes and the pole. He'll pack the tent or whatever, however we decide to do it, but we can split weight that way instead of carrying in 2 tents. If we decide to split, I'll be using my Stone Glacier Sky Air ULT. I'll probably use that. Actually, I know I'll use that without the mesh insert just because I'm not worried about bugs the time of year that we're going. Another thing with sleep system. This is going to be my Nemo. It's a Nemo First Light collaboration pillow. I don't know the actual name of it, but I've had this thing for several years and I really like the comfort of it. It doesn't weigh very much. Here is my sleeping bag. This is a 20-degree Outdoor Vitals rectangular sleeping bag. It won't be in this bag in my pack. I just have it in here to kind of keep it on the table. But that's my bag there. I decided to go to the 20-degree bag instead of a 0-degree bag on this hunt because they're not really calling for any super cold temperatures. So that's what I'm bringing. Along with that, something that can go with this kit is a 45-liter Sea to Summit dry bag. It's super, super lightweight. And I can use that to just cover up anything or pack away anything if we get a bad rainstorm, whatever it may be. It's just a good little piece of gear to have. From there, let's go trekking poles. These can be used as part of my sleep system. My Sky Air ULT uses 2 trekking poles, or a trekking pole and a stick is what I like to normally use to pitch that tent. These are the Lecky Legacy Light poles. They don't weigh a whole lot. I think they're like 10 ounces or something like that total. On top of the one, I've got a GoPro mount with another little thumb screw. That will go on the shoulder of my pack, and it'll be kind of like that over shoulder view as we're hunting. I've also got some Luco tape wrapped around the handle just in case of emergencies. Let's go into, this is just a knee brace. It's like a 7mm lifting sleeve that I wear. I got this idea from Brian Call and Gritty from the Gritty YouTube channel. He was talking about having some knee pain and using a lifting sleeve as a knee sleeve when he gets a heavy load under him. So I'm going to give it a shot this year. Hopefully it works because I got a really bad knee this year. From there, let's see, let me move this over here out of the way so I don't talk about too many different things. Let's move that over a little bit. Next is going to be kill kit. Just a quick overview. I'll have it pop up on the screen exactly what I've got in here. I will do a specific video on this, but this is just quick and dirty kill kit. Got Graxol game bags in there, Havalon knife, some things like that, some rope. This is going to be my toiletry kit. Toiletry kit is pretty critical. You can't really stay clean, but you can keep your teeth clean, keep your ears clean, and just a few things in here. My nose strips. I have a really bad sinus problem when I get up there in the mountains and start hiking, get in that dust. I can put those nose strips on at night and it just helps me breathe a whole lot better. So that is a backcountry hack. Carry your nose strips if you have issue breathing in the backcountry. This is my emergency kit. I will also have another video specifically on this kit. The little Excel spreadsheet will be up and you can see what I got in it if you want to. All right, so this is my water system. In here, I'm gonna have a platypus filter, I think it's the quick draw filter. I'm gonna have a platypus, like the clear bag, 2 liter, and then a 2 liter, what is this, Hydro Pack Seeker. I'll have that, and I have the little adapter and the top that will hook into my filter. There'll also be a video on this. And then with water, I'll also be carrying a 1 liter, just a regular plastic body armor bottle. Bear defense. We are going to be in bear country. More than likely, we're going to be starting off not in grizzly country. With that being said, we may or may not carry our pistols. This is a Glock 19. I'll have Underwood ammunition in it. Got a Hollow Sun optic on top of it and a ivory holster for my Exo Mountain pack. So let me get my pistol out of the way so I don't knock it off. But that's the pistol. So for binocular harness, I will do a full video on what I've got in here. Just a quick and dirty. Got Vortex Viper HD, 10x42s, Leupold full draw 5, RX full draw 5, GoPro remote, fixed blade knife, tags will be in here. I've got a few archery things and some tools that I keep in this little side pouch, as well as a compass. And then I'll also have my elk reeds and a lens cloth. And this is the marsupial gear enclosed small bino harness. Let's go into electronics. A lot of this stuff will be different than most of you will pack. I pack so much just because I'm filming. So I'll have an Anker 21 watt folding solar panel. I've had pretty good luck with it in the past. I'll have an Anker 10,000 milliamp battery that I'll carry in my pack throughout the day for my cell phone or GoPro, microphones, whatever it may be. That will stay in my pack each day. And then this is a 26,000 milliamp, also solar panel. Has a solar panel. This 26,000 milliamp battery pack that will be plugged into my solar panel back at camp. And that's the plan. I'll run this. I got that idea from Aaron Snyder, and he's had pretty good luck with it, and he likes to video and take pictures. So trying to kind of mirror his kit there. My chargers and all that stuff will be in my camera bag. I'll have some charging cords, charger for my main camera. I'll have my additional microphones and stuff like that. I'll also sit down and do a video specifically on the camera gear for those of you that are interested in the camera gear that I'm taking. I'll have a GoPro Hero 11 in my pack, or on my pack. I'll have 3 total batteries for my camera, 1 in my pack, 1 in my bino harness, and 1 in the camera. A couple of lenses for the small cameras and the main camera. My main camera is going to be the Sony A7 III, which is what I'm videoing with now. For headlamp, this is the Peaks Backcountry Duo. If you're interested in seeing a video on this headlamp, comment down below and let me know. From there, Wayne will have the drone, the other little Osmo action camera, and some of the other camera accessories. One thing you don't see on the, or 2 things you don't see on the table. One was the camera I just spoke about, and then I also have a Ciru carbon fiber, I think it's the 1204 model or 2204, something like that. It's a 4-piece leg tripod. Really like that tripod. And then I'll have a Ciru VA5 head on that. That will be used for glassing and as well as running the camera. Both of us will have a tripod. One will have the camera, one will be glassing if we need to. So from there, just a pair of Oakley sunglasses, my Primus Light cook stove with my stove inside of it. I do not have the canister in here, so when you think about the weights that I'm going to tell you on this pack, that will be without the canister, so keep that in mind. Wayne is carrying the canister, and we're sharing the stove. So here's my food bag. This has got 4 days worth of food in it. I can fit 5 or 6 days worth of food in this bag, and I also have a carabiner on it so that I can hang it away from camp. Another thing in this bag will be my little Fossil's folding cup and plate. It's pretty sweet how this little thing works. I've had these for several years and they work really, really well as a cutting board, as a bowl to eat, as a cup for coffee. Aaron Snyder also is where I got this idea, and he's the only one that I've ever seen use these. So I don't know if any of you other guys use these, but they're called Fossils. I think I got them off of eBay. I've got like a 3 set of them. And then really, I'm not going to get into my food. About 3,200 calories a day. I'll do a separate video on food for you guys that are interested in that. So this is everything else that I'm packing for this hunt. Let me get my pack up here. We'll talk about it in a minute, and we'll go ahead and kind of pack that thing, and I'll show you how I pack it for my hunt. All right, guys, so like I said earlier, K4 Exo Mountain pack. This is the K4 5000. I really like the orientation of this pack and kind of how it lays out. The way I'll pack this thing is I'll take first my sleeping bag and my ground cloth and my sleeping pad. Ground cloth is going to go in the very bottom of this pack, either on the very bottom or on the very back at the very bottom, just to kind of get it out of the way. And then I don't use my bag inside of another bag. I'll just take this bag and I'll shove it down in the very bottom of my pack. It just seems to kind of mold and form better when I do it that way than it does if I run it inside of an additional bag itself. When I'm packing this pack, normally I'm going to be standing above it, packing it down. Makes it a little bit easier than laying it on this table. From there, I'll take my sleeping pad. I'll shove it kind of in between the bag and the face of my sleeping bag and the face of my backpack. I'll give that a little zip. Make sure I got my straps loose. All right, so from there, I take my knee brace and my solar panel. Solar panel goes down slightly behind the sleeping bag, and then my knee brace goes on top of that for additional padding. What I'm trying to do here, guys, I'm trying to pack this backpack in a way that all my heavy stuff is right in the middle of my back. So I'll take my heavy battery pack, that's going to go down the side here. That's going to be it for electronics going inside that part. I will take, emergency kit's going to go out. I'll take my kill kit. My kill kit will also run down the side. I'm just kind of wedging this stuff in here. I like to try to keep as much of my gear in the main compartment of the bag as possible, but also keep a low profile as well. Take my pillow, shove it down in there with my sleeping bag. And then from there, I'll start kind of, where's my cook stove? Cook stove and my food. So your food's going to be the biggest portion of your weight in a pack, especially if you're doing multiple days at a time. I like to keep it inside this bag to kind of keep it organized, and that's going to go kind of there in the middle. Then my cook stove will go along the side of it. I'll actually move my battery pack down just slightly, and then my cook stove will go right there alongside of my food. Then what I like to do, I take my gloves, because usually I don't need to get to them in a hurry. Take my gloves, they'll go in the main compartment of my bag, kind of down beside of my food as well. And then I will zip just slightly. What I'm going to do different this year is, I think, at least starting out, I'm going to put my glassing pad in my main compartment of my bag, since it's that bright yellow color. Before, I've been hiking with it on the outside, and I've just noticed on the camera how much it sticks out, so I'm going to run it in the main compartment of my bag. As I pack this bag, I like to keep continually zipping it, and I try to keep that stuff tight and compact in there. All right, so I've still got plenty of clothing and some little accessories and stuff. And a lot of this stuff, what I like to try to do, one more thing that I want to put in my bag that I forgot is my wool pants. I'll run my wool pants down here as well, just along the side there. And what you're trying to do is you're going to try to keep as much of your weight balanced as you can. So if you feel like you're packing more on one side than the other, you can always kind of move some stuff around. Like I think I'm going to move my gloves back over to the other side, and then I'll move that pair of pants over here to that side. Now keep in mind, as I'm packing this, I'm also working around camera gear that I know I'm going to be carrying, and that's going to dictate where the weight is in my pack. A lot of times I have to counterbalance the 3.5 pound camera that I'm carrying around on the back side on the front side of my bag. All right, so that's got most of the main compartment packed. I'm going to spin this bag around so I can see it a little bit better. So I still got plenty of room in the top of this bag. This bag is a roll top style bag. So I like to open it up, and this is where I'll put some of the items that I want to be able to get to in a hurry. I'm running this bag this year without the lid, and there's a reason for that. I'm just trying to stay as streamlined as possible. The lid, generally the buckles kind of get in the way when I want to put my bow on and take my bow off. So I'm going to pack it in the truck just in case I need it, but my plan is to do without the lid this year. So from there, before I get the top of this pack super packed, I'm going to take my rain gear, and I'm going to run my rain gear in the water bladder sleeve on the back of this pack. Since I'm not using my water bladder sleeve for anything, let me flip it over. I'll just take and put these down that sleeve. They'll be where I can access them easily, And also, if I do happen to need them and I get them wet, I can keep them in this sleeve, and that sleeve is actually a waterproof sleeve. That's something pretty cool that EXO did in these packs, so you can keep your water or your wet stuff hopefully separate from the rest of your bag. I'll also take and put my 45-liter dry bag inside that compartment as well. All that stuff, if it comes down a downpour, I don't have to unzip anything else in my bag, and I can get to my rain gear. All right, so like I said, I still got plenty of room in the top of the pack. Got it zipped up. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take my down booties and my down jacket, and I'm gonna shove those down in this pack. That allows me access to my down jacket pretty quickly. All I gotta do is pop that roll top if I wanna get to those. And then on top of that will go my layering that I might be wearing in the mornings or the evenings. I'll throw this in here because that's easy. If I decide to take it off, take my layers off, I can get to them and store them fairly quickly. From there, I'll take my beanie and my neck gaiter and my little gloves. They'll go inside of that beanie, and I'll shove them in the top of the pack. It's not an exact science, guys, but this is a pretty good way that I've found to pack this stuff in. You want to try to kind of keep an eye on where you're wanting to put stuff and how you need to access it, how quickly you want to get to it. From there, my sunglasses will also go in the top, and then I'll just take and roll this dry bag, roll this roll top. We'll set this on the ground and roll it, compress it down. And I can really push down on that and really compress that bag down once it's on the ground. Like I said, normally when I'm packing this bag, it's on the ground, and it just makes the process a little bit easier. So I got that rolled down and tight. From there, I'm gonna go into my side pouches. I try to run as little as possible in these side pouches because I want to try to keep my bag as streamlined. I'm not a very wide guy, so if your bag gets too wide, it's just kind of sticking out and it's kind of in your way, drawing your bow and things like that. My water filter system is going to all stay together. It's going to go on the camera side or the right side of my pack, kind of there by itself. I don't want to put a whole lot in there with that because it can get wet. My emergency kit, it will go on the left side of my pack down towards the bottom because it's a little bit heavier item. I'll keep my toiletries kit above my water kit. I like to keep those together because at the end of the night I need water, and I'll have to brush my teeth, put some deodorant on, put my nose strips on. So all that'll be right there, easy to access in camp. From there, in the left side of my bag, I'm gonna take a little carabiner and clip this, excuse me, 10,000 milliamp battery pack. There's a little tab inside the sleeve that I can clip it into. The reason I do that is because, like I talked about earlier, in this side sleeve, on this side of this pack is where my trekking poles are going to go with my GoPro, and with this little battery pack clipped in the top corner of that bag, I can plug a cord into it, plug directly into my GoPro, and I don't have to worry about that thing dying. Say I'm making a stalk in on an elk or whatever it may be, I always have that footage rolling. And then my little camera accessory pack will also go in that side of the pack. So from there, we'll take the trekking poles. I'm gonna run them down the side here, and they'll go in the little sleeve for the water bottle. But I don't use that for a water bottle, so that thing's wide open for whatever I want to use it for. Now I'll push those against and go ahead and start snugging up some of these straps to kind of hold them in there. Not super tight, but I got them snug. So some of these accessories for my camera that are on the side here, I have my ND filters and my spare battery. They're gonna go in my little accessory pouch on my hip belt, and then my Peaks headlamp is also gonna go in there. That's all stuff that I need to access quickly without getting into my pack. As the sun changes for the camera, I need to be able to get to those ND filters. Like I said, GoPro is gonna go on top of the trekking pole. Trying to get this stuff as close to possible, as accurate, so I can get a weight for it and give you a total weight at the end of this. So on the right side of my pack is where my bugle tube goes. That's gonna slide in here just like that. And most of the time when we get in on elk, I'll have that thing stuck through the side strap of my pack where I can access it without undoing any buckles. But for this purpose, and for like actually hiking back into the spot we're gonna hunt, I'll have it on the side of my pack, kind of out of the way. All right, got that strapped. Pistol. I will add it into the weight. I'm not gonna actually put it on my pack right now, but it would in theory go on my right hip on my pack. That's how that ivory holster is designed. And then my water bottle goes in my water bottle sleeve here on the left hip belt. And then lastly is gonna be my weapon. This is an archery elk hunt, so for a weapon, let me move my bag a little bit and kind of talk about that. Weapon is going to be the Hoyt RX7 Ultra. I will do a specific video on this bow, getting into more detail just to keep this video a little bit shorter. But yep, Hoyt RX7 Ultra. Love this bow. It's an 80-pound bow. I'm shooting 74.5 or 75 pounds. Shooting about 280 feet a second with Easton Axis long-range arrow. Carrying 6 arrows with me. Shooting a Sever 1.5 broadhead this year instead of my trusty Q80 Exodus. But this bow will go like so. Try to run it where it's not getting hung up on stuff. I will go about yay there, about just under my sight where it's mounted to my bow. I'll run my strap here. Clip it in. Try to keep my bow as centered on the backpack as possible, because if you're off there, it will kind of make it aggravating to carry this bow around. I will only carry the bow when I'm doing like a big hike in, where I don't expect to see any bulls. But if I'm anywhere remotely near where I think I may be into some elk, that bow's coming off the pack. It's got to. I've ran into situations before where I left my bow on my pack and we stumbled across some elk, and it was all hands on deck trying to get the bow off the pack. So let me get everything rearranged. I'll give you a total weight and close out the video. All right, so bino harness, fully loaded, everything I'm gonna have in it. I don't know if you can see it or not, 4.6 pounds. So keep that number in mind. Let me set this down, get my pack down. All right, so backpack, everything I need, packed for 4 days. I'm missing a few things in my food bag, so add about 7 ounces to what I'm missing there. But this will get you a very close idea. All right, so let's pick this up. All right, so we are sitting at 43 pounds on the dot. So 43 pounds. My Glock is 2.2 pounds. So if I do carry my pistol, we're looking at 45 pounds, just say. And then additionally with my binocular harness, I like to count all the weight that I'm carrying on my back. So binocular harness, we're at, so 42 for the pack. No, I'm sorry. 43 for the pack, 2 pounds for the pistol, so 45, 4.6 pounds for the binocular harness. So we're at, just say, 50 pounds for what I need with 4 days of food, the water I'm going to be carrying, my water bottle is full, and my camera gear. If I put my tripod and my camera, we're sitting at 50 pounds without it. Tripod 3.6 pounds, camera 3.6 or 3.4 pounds. So you might as well say 7 pounds for that. So with the camera and the tripod, I'm now at 57 pounds. I've been training with a little over 60. So I should be good. It's going to be a heavy pack in. Let me get my bag out of the way and or back up on the table. All right, so 50 pounds without my camera gear on it, 57 pounds with it. That's including my bow. That's including everything. Everything I'm carrying, binocular harness, all that. If you just want to count the pack, take the bow off. The bow weighs 7 pounds. So it was 43, take 7 off, you're at, what is that, 46, so 36. 36 pounds without the bow and without the pistol. If you want to add the pistol back to it, you can do any option you want to, but the weights that I give you, total weight, everything included. Anyways, guys, I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, all my kit in this bag, I'm going to do specific videos on. If there's something else that you want to see that I didn't talk about, don't hesitate to comment down below or reach out to me on social media. I really appreciate you watching, guys. I hope I covered everything. It's a lot of gear. I tried to be as specific as possible without taking too long. So it's still going to be a longer video, but if you want to know specifics, go check out the individual videos, and I'll link those below. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm pumped to get to Montana. Remember to live your life to the fullest. Use your passions to bless others. Good luck in this upcoming season, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next video.